if you're a photographer, regardless if you do hobby photography or if you're a professional photographer, it's really, really, really easy to get stuck, to feel like you're creatively blocked. And in this video, we will talk about the 3 most common scenarios, the 3 most common reasons why you feel like this and what you can do about it.
So this was one of those days where I didn't have any inspiration at all, and I was still craving to, get some good photos, especially edit, but I didn't have any photos that I felt like I want to dive into Photoshop with. So I packed my camera bag, packed a dress, and a light source. In this case, it's called a NAND light. It's like how do you explain?
It's the power tube. It's like a light tube. Yeah,
exactly. A small one. It's like this big. And I had no idea where to go and what to do with it. But I went anyway, and drove by a nice forest, and I thought, well, maybe I can get some good photos in this forest. I haven't been in that forest before, but I jumped out of the car and walked like 50 meters straight in, and the creativity came to me, not like that boom, but it slowly. So I got this idea where I wanted one of the trees to glow, and that I would like stand in front of the tree, ready to touch the glow. I have no idea where that came from. So I took this light tube, and I took like a vad heter det? Jag lyste på det.
You lit the tree?
Yeah. So I lit the tree with the light tube to get the tree to have this glowy light on it. Of course, added more light in Photoshop later, but this is multiple exposures. And then I took one photo where I was standing in front of the tree, and I hung the light in one of the branches so that I also will get light on me, because it's so much easier when you have the light in the photo you're going to edit. It would be almost impossible to get this. I think I have the before. Yes, this is the before photo. And
so
then
this is where it's shining in your face.
Exactly. And then I added the tree, many photos from the tree where I have light on the tree as well. So I remember suddenly 2 hours have passed by, because I was so, caught up in all of this. And I also took many other photos as well. This didn't take me 2 hours, but I was so caught up in this photo shoot. And just because you don't, have an idea from the beginning when you're heading out, doesn't mean that you won't come home with any good photos at all. Sometimes you don't come up with any ideas. I mean, it happens sometimes, but I don't think I have ever, regretted heading out. Because once you are out, you usually get, some ideas. And if you're not very happy with the results, at least I think you have learned something, and you have to, you got fresh air. And
I think what you're saying is so important, because what I'm hearing, I remember when we studied meditation at the university, when you are bored, or when you feel like you don't have inspiration, you're in your head. But creativity comes from being present in the moment. And if you practice mindfulness, you never feel like you're lacking inspiration. So what I heard when you were telling this story is how you transformed from being in your head, and then you came out to the forest, and all of a sudden you were in the moment. You were looking around like, what can I do? What can I use? How can I use this light? And those curious questions are really good to get out of your head and to start creating and to actually feel creative.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, so this picture I took for Sony. I was helping Sony to launch their new 85mm, the GM2 Mark II, the lens. And it was, usually I would probably try to arrange a shoot depending on the circumstances. So I would love to shoot when the light is really good, or if you have interesting clouds and stuff. And the clouds were interesting, but it was clouds that were really, really high up, meaning the light is really flat. So the light was not inspiring at all. I think I have the before picture. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was just, the colors were a bit, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it wasn't the time and it wasn't the place that was inspiring. Sometimes I feel like if you just get like a good enough photo when you're out shooting and you have the ingredients that you need, then sometimes I don't always feel, I think what I'm trying to say, I don't always feel super creative when I am out. Sometimes I go out anyway and I take some pictures, and then the feeling of being creative comes to me when I'm in Photoshop. So the after picture again, yeah. So when I came home, the light was beautiful on her face, and like the foreground and background was even lit. So those are kind of my favorite circumstances to work with. So I think it's funny we chose two pictures where a tree is glowing. But I just felt like it was this stormy day, and I felt like this branch with a bit of Photoshop kind of resembled, what is it called? Like a thunderbolt, a lightning bolt. So I wanted it to be, she was like this storm goddess. But my point is, the creativity came to me when I was in Photoshop.
I love this photo. I think when you posted it on Instagram, I was like, oh my God, this is the Queen of Thunder. I love it. It's so cool. And I love to see the before, because it's so different. I mean, I think when you see this edited version, you think that it was taken when the sun just had set and it was this stormy, dark sky, and maybe you have, lit up her face with flash or some external light. But yeah, it's crazy what you can do in Photoshop. I love this one.
So I just wanted to add that nuance, that sometimes even if you feel like, if you don't feel like you don't feel creative and want to go out shooting, you can also get that sense, because sometimes when you get into it, even if you start with Photoshop, then you get ideas. Oh, I want to shoot this. I want to take pictures of that. So you can start with either going out or actually start with just editing a picture.
Yeah, exactly. This one was from a dark night. I think it was one of those weeks during winter where I live in southern Sweden. We don't get much snow, so I had no inspiration to shoot during the day. It was this rainy, dark days. It seems like it would never end. The rain was just pouring down. But then suddenly it cleared up one night. And I was like, I have to shoot. I haven't shot anything for weeks. I didn't have, any idea, but I took my dress on and jacket on top of the dress, headed out. This was in basically my backyard. Very lucky to get the stars in my backyard because we have a lot of light pollution. But this was, kind of dark anyway. It was freezing cold. This was shot in January. But I managed to take some photos of myself, which it's not easy to take self-portraits in the dark when you're all by yourself. And I wanted to have focus on me because I wanted the stars to be, a little bit blurry. I wanted the focus to be where I was standing. So I think I put the camera bag on the ground and lit up the camera bag with a flashlight, and then set the focus on the camera bag, turned off the flashlight, and set the camera on this time-lapse mode. And then I was standing where I had set the camera bag, and I knew where the focus was. And then I was just like playing around. I didn't have this idea that I was gonna pick a star from the sky. I think I was just standing, in different poses, and I was looking up to the sky, and I was like, oh, this is so, so beautiful. What if I try to make it look like, make it look like I was gonna pick a star down from the sky. So I hope nobody saw me where I was standing like this. And then I got home, and in the edit, I of course made the star much brighter than it was, but that's about it. And of course made the whole night sky a little bit lighter, so you can actually see all the stars. But this came from boredom, I think, and I was like, oh, I just need to go out.
Boredom can be your best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Just embrace it. But also, I just need to point out that you were standing with your arm up for 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's insane because it's really difficult to take long exposure and be sharp-ish. But to be standing for 5 seconds with your arm up, it's like if I do long exposure, I try to keep a pose where I don't have to keep my arms out because you will wobble just like a little bit.
Yeah, I think if you zoom in, it's not that sharp, but it works on Instagram and social media. You can't see if it's a little bit blurry. I think the dress might be a little bit blurry as well. To the left, it was a bit windy, but yeah, I'm kind of impressed by myself.
But it makes it look a bit more surreal. It doesn't, you can't. If you're taking long exposure portraits, you can't compare them with the sharpness of a properly lit photo. It's like those are two completely different things. What kind of light do you have on your face? Because your hand and your face is illuminated by something.
I would say it's light pollution from nearby houses. Yeah.
It works well.
So, yeah, it does.
Yes. So this was this is so funny. I this is me trying to capture the blood moon. So I really didn't feel like going out. I had no inspiration and I was tired. Really, I just wanted to go to bed. But it was this blood moon that everyone was talking about, and the skies were clear according to my weather forecast app. So I had a look at the weather. I was like, oh, the skies are clear. I have to go out. Like, at least I can give it a go. I packed my camera. I packed like a dress and some stuff in my car. And I went searching for, well, actually, as soon as I opened the front door, it was foggy. I was like, Well, okay, let's see if I can find somewhere. Usually that would make me thrilled. But if you're trying to see the moon and you're in the middle of the fog, you won't be able to see the sky so well. So I went out just randomly looking for a place where I could see the moon. And also, it's not just about seeing the moon, because if you see the moon in the wrong location, it's really difficult to take a portrait with it. So I hadn't done research, which I probably, or usually I do, if I go out to shoot with the moon. Like, I know where it's going up and at what time. And this was just more, I need to go out because everyone is talking about it. And towards the side where the moon was, where the moon was rising, that's where the fog was. So it was really thick and really dense. And towards the other side, where the sun was setting, that's where the skies were clear. Well, kind of clear. You can see there are a few clouds on the sky in the background. But you can also see that there is a lot of fog. So I was like, okay, I have two options. I can try to shoot towards the moon, which I can't see because of the fog. Or I can just use the fog and pretend that this was not the night of the blood moon. So I went with the second option. So on my way back to the house again, I just saw this little... I think they keep the reindeers behind this little peninsula, or whatever it's called. So normally you would have fences that would be green and white and yellow, and it's not a pretty location, but the fog made it pretty. So I just stopped here, and the sun was setting and it was getting quite dark. So I brought out a lamp. I love blue hour. I love fog, and I love to add like an extra light source just to make a bit more pop. And otherwise it would just be a silhouette of me at this point because it was quite dark outside. So yeah, this was my blood moon shot. But I actually ended up having so much fun when I let go, probably, of what was in my head, that I was out to shoot the blood moon. When I let go of that and just embrace the moment and like, what can I do with this? How can I use the fog? How can I use the water, the reflection, the sky? That's when I started to have fun. And I think it was the same story. I went out even though I wanted to go to bed. And I think I was out for 3 hours. And what made me stop was it was so dark I couldn't see where I was walking. So I was a bit worried I'd walk into the water.
I think you have the before, yeah.
Yeah, this is the before and the after. Yeah, so it's not a lot of difference really. I did a little panorama to get a bit more of the surroundings. But yes, so if it wasn't, sometimes you just need something external. You need something that kind of forces you to go out, because it's so easy to say, no, I'll just do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it another day when I feel like it. But sometimes some of the pictures you'll love the most are the ones you will take on a day when you didn't feel like shooting. And afterwards, you'll be happy. Most often. Yeah, so these are our uninspired shots that we actually ended up loving. But I also want to add that you have from our experience, there are 3 different kinds of creative, when you get stuck with your creativity, like in a creative rut, then you have these times when you just feel like you're bored, like Louise was talking about. You feel bored, you don't feel like going out, and you do it and you end up loving it. It's so much fun. And then those times, it's more often about getting away from your head and being more mindful and in the moment, because you cannot actually feel bored or uninspired if you are mindful and in the present moment. So boredom and uninspired, those are like cognitive constructions. But then what I have felt lately is that I have had so many jobs waiting because I have been traveling a lot, and I have had just so many jobs waiting. I have had so much to do, and I've felt really stressed. And that's a different kind of block, I would say, because I have tried to just go out and shoot, but it's been kind of impossible because every time, it doesn't matter, I have had the best circumstances. You know, it's been beautiful autumn colors, and it's been beautiful, like the perfect winter conditions. And I've had like all kinds of possibility. There's been a lot of fog, there has been the moon, there has been northern lights, there's been everything. But as soon as I have gone out, I have felt stressed about all the things I'm not doing, like all the jobs that are waiting, all the pictures that are sitting on my computer. So sometimes it doesn't help to just go out. Sometimes you actually need to create space for your creativity. You need to create space to be bored. And so that has been the solution for me right now, to actually create space for myself. And if you are blessed enough to have photography as your full-time job, which I am super grateful that I do, it's kind of crucial for me to make sure that the financial side of it is working, even though I plan for big gaps in my calendar, that I plan for times when I can be bored.
Yeah, I think we have talked about this a lot, you and I. When you work with photography, you need your own projects as well, because you don't get to be, you know, creative in your own way when you work with others. I mean, it's super fun to work with others, but you don't get to, you know, just explore your own creativity when you have work-related photo shoots. So it's super important to get your own, to get space, to get to work on your own projects, and as you say, be bored and get new inspiration.
And sometimes the third scenario, so the first one is when you just feel like you're lacking inspiration and you're bored. So that's one scenario. And the next scenario is when you don't have time to feel bored. So that's the next issue. But then we also have the third issue that could make that you end up in a creative rut. And it's when you don't challenge yourself enough. So there is something called flow creativity. This is where creativity is blooming, and it's when the challenge meets your ability. So you feel challenged, it feels slightly difficult, but you feel like you can handle it. And this is very often what happens to photographers, because you get better and better at what you're doing. And if you keep on doing a similar kind of job without raising the level, like the bar of the difficulties, then you will start to feel like it's a bit mundane. And this is what I love. Like, you are really good at this, Louise, especially when it comes to the moon pictures. You just set this crazy aspiration and go and get it.
Yeah, and I got so inspired doing that, you know, create a photo that I had in my mind for so long. And as you say, you get in this flow when it's challenging, but you know how to do it at the same time. I love that feeling. I have new moon photo ideas that I hope to create in
the near future.
Yeah.
All right, so we hope that you have gotten some inspiration and some new ideas, something to try if you feel like you're a bit stuck with the creativity, you don't feel so inspired and creative at the moment. And we have noticed that a lot of photographers feel that this time of the year. So we hope that you find something new to try, and please show us, tag us, and let us know what you create.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for
Bye.
watching. Bye.